is going on, fellow comrades? I hope you are doing great, and thank you for tuning into my video. That was my terrible impression of a Russian accent, but
wait till you see the.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more.
What you see here is some Battlefield 4, heck yes. And this is some Rush on the map Siege of Shanghai. I'm playing as a medic, and by the way, this was 100% my favorite map back in the day. This is actually a custom server. Most of the servers still hanging around nowadays are ones ran by actual players, and this one is a modified Rush. It starts with 400 spawn tickets, and if I remember correctly, it usually started with like 100 on like an actual server, and there's no vehicles and there's limitations on what kind of weapons and equipment you can use. I'm definitely not a fan of servers that have all these kind of restrictions. I prefer the classic experience. If you've known me long enough, you know that vehicles are potentially my favorite thing about Battlefield. But that just goes to show you how amazing of a game this is. I can play an infantry only server and still have a great time. So in this video, I'm going to talk a bit about how a lot of people nowadays are returning to old titles, and you know, obviously myself included, and just my thoughts on it. Lately I've noticed a big trend on YouTube and just kind of in general. A lot of people are, like I said, resorting to playing older titles. A few YouTubers that I watch have mentioned it several times. Blame Truth preaches consistently how he can go back to Black Ops 4 and have infinitely more fun than he does in Cold War. So he occasionally uses some BO4 gameplay, and now that I think about it, he'll even use some ancient Call of Duty 4 gameplay every now and then as well. My man 402 Thunder is definitely in the same boat, and I believe even Birdman will occasionally use some Black Ops 4 gameplay. My thoughts on it? I say hell yeah and keep doing it. Obviously, I myself don't mind playing older titles as well, as I'm playing this game from 2013, which looks and plays better than a lot of stuff nowadays. But you know, if you're the type of person who tends to toss old titles in the can, I highly encourage you to go back. Reach in the back of your drawer and dust off those old discs. You know, I'm kidding. Nobody really uses discs nowadays, but you get the idea. Like I said, if this isn't something that you do on the regular, I highly encourage it for a couple of reasons. Sometimes it takes going back in time to where you started, or maybe just an earlier time, to really get a grasp of how things are being developed nowadays. I think it's extremely important to remember older titles, because that is a major key when it comes to how you look at modern titles. On top of all of that, just by continuing to play, you add to the community, which encourages more people to stick around. Who knows, you could end up with a new favorite old game. That's like really weird to say, but it's true. That brings me to my next point. I think that it makes a great statement to developers when their player base chooses to go back to old titles. Now, I'll admit, often I say, oh man, I ain't gonna get this game until I see some gameplay, then maybe I'll pick it up a few months after release, maybe if they impress me. Then what do? I end up pre-ordering the game, even getting the special edition. That same thing happened with Cold War. If you're the type of gamer who can hold out until you get a better idea of a drop after it comes out, keep doing that. That is a great way to approach new titles nowadays. Just like I mentioned in one of my Have a Chats about campaigns, shameless plug, if you haven't seen it, you can check it out. I'm fully convinced that no developer is above dropping the ball when it comes to a new game nowadays. But like I said, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. So you've already sent your dough to corporate commander.
Oh goody, my income checks are here. Let's see, Activision. All the revenue from online classes. Oh, that's a big one.
Refunds aren't always an option. So what else can you do to show them that you don't fuck with their new game? Go back to an old title. This does mostly only apply to multiplayer games, but you know, developers can see their player base. They know good and well how many people are on Battlefield 4 versus 5. They know good and well how many people are on Modern Warfare versus Cold War. It might not be as big of an impact as flat out not buying the game, but you know, it's something. Who knows, maybe they'll catch on and say,
hey, wow, we spent all this time making this new game and everybody's still playing the last drop. Maybe we should do something to fix that.
Take World of Warcraft for example. This right here was how the WoW dev team responded to players saying they wanted classic servers of the game.
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Now look at them. Years later, they came back looking like Boo Boo the Fool.
But I understand that for some of you, your favorite flavor is vanilla. Fans of World of Warcraft around the world, we hear you. I am pleased and also a little bit nervous to announce the development of a classic server option for World of Warcraft.
They saw how many players resorted to going to private servers and realized, dang, maybe this would actually be beneficial to us. You know, now they've made WoW Classic and they're working on Burning Crusade Classic. We live in a time of remakes and remasters. I've never seen so many games getting touch-ups like they do nowadays. A buddy of mine recently asked me about MCC, the Master Chief Collection. He's never even played it. I just straight up told him, like, dude, you are missing out. Take advantage of these opportunities. If you're the type of gamer who doesn't mess with old titles, try it out. Especially if it's something that you've played before and you loved dearly. And especially if you're a PC player, you don't have to worry about backwards compatibility or anything like that if you own a PC. One way or another, the message will get to these developers that they need to do better. They need to stop and look at what made these games great. Remakes and remasters are also a great opportunity to bring up the discussion of quality versus nostalgia. Maybe the subject of another video in the near future. I've mentioned it specifically in a video long ago. I already tend to live in the past when it comes to games. Are you like me? Or do you always have to be on board the latest drop when it comes to new games? I'd like to see what category you fall in and what you think about old titles in new times down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the Rush gameplay on the best BF4 map ever, leaving a thumbs up will let me know and help this video get out to other awesome people like you. To see more of my content, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the bell icon, which will let you know when I upload again. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back sometime.